Hey everyone, welcome to Unveiling Beauty. This is quarantine day like 5,256, it feels like. I don't know about for you, but that's what it feels like for me. But today we are so excited to bring you some of our favorite people in the industry. But before I do that, I have Mr. Ammon Carver here with me. Hey Ammon.
What up? Hey
How
guys. Here again, loving it. So much fun on these Unveiling Beauties. Nick, I love the
totally.
background. Every single time I have to mention how jealous I am because I'm stuck indoors. I love my
Yes.
place, but you're out there just living it
This
up in
is
the warm
this is the
weather.
only thing that I love about quarantine right now is that I get to be in decent weather for a change.
Yeah.
But enough of that. We have an exciting show for you planned today. Today is all about upping your upstyle game. So dress work tips and tricks from some of the our favorite people in the whole entire industry, and then color placement to pair that with. And then you'll hear from one of our favorites from our design team as well. Emma, why don't you introduce all the great people that we have on the show today?
Yeah, I just want to quickly say if this is your first time tuning into the Unveiling Beauty series, we really decided to put this together to make sure that it was a platform where we could really interact with the entire industry, bring in relevant topics that are like hot for not only consumers but also stylists alike. And this is the first time that we've been able to invite a guest that's outside of our Ulta Beauty family. We're very, very excited. And it just so happens that the two guests we have three guests, but the two guests that we have today are actually good friends from a long time. So I want to introduce today Miss Sharon Blaine, who's coming all the way to us from Australia. She is a legend. Sharon, how are you?
Hi, guys.
And then also Miss Sonia Dove, who you guys are no stranger to. And I should know Sharon and Sonia are friends for a long time. Sonia, you're there with us?
Yes, I am.
How are
Right
you?
on.
Well,
Perfect.
we are so excited
Everybody.
to talk to all of you guys today about dress work and then some color tips with Sonia. Um, so, Ammon, who do we want to kick it off with first? I believe we want to kick it off with Miss Sharon Blaine.
Yeah, I mean, none other than Miss Sharon Blaine. Thank you so much. I know it's actually Tuesday for Sharon, right? So Tuesday morning, bright and
Yeah,
early.
exactly.
Much appreciated for you getting up early and sharing the knowledge. I've been following you for a long time, and so grateful that you're on this team or on this show today to share your knowledge and a little bit of maybe your perspective on what's going on in the world. So technique and also maybe how you feel about stylists might be feeling in the world today would be awesome. I'm going to pass it over to you to just
Ammon,
share the wealth of knowledge that you are. Yes.
Ammon, before you kick it off to
Hi.
Sharon, I just got to say something, Sharon. I just have to say a few words about you. So, it was about I think it's been like 9 years, maybe 9 or 10 years since I went to one of your boot camp classes. And every single person that ever asks me what is the best education you've ever been to, I always say Sharon Blaine. And
Oh,
True.
you're
it
so
is honest to God, I
sweet.
feel like that was a game changer for me. I will tell you, I think we talked about this when I was there. I was a terrible braider. I'm still not the best braider, but I was a terrible braider. And I remember you simplifying braiding so much for me that I walked away giddy because I couldn't believe that I could do a 4 strand braid and all these different braids. And it was that time we spent together, and it was up close and personal. And you just shared the love of your craft with all of us. And I'm so excited because one of our design team members, Galad, actually flew there to see you last year and went to your class to learn from you as well. And it's just so fun to see the different generations of people that we get to work with who've been inspired, taught, and led by you. So I just wanted to say where I'm so grateful for you
Thank
and your
you,
talent
Nick.
that you're
That's so
bringing here.
sweet. That's so sweet. And I guess that's what keeps me going. Having young people still wanting to learn and me being able to still be around to pass on my knowledge to the next generation. So, it just makes my job just so pleasurable. I love doing what I do. I don't know what's interesting. Just so to sit in there with people when they are in my class and I'm able to share these tricks with them. So today I've got a really great as well. Sometimes I think people overcomplicate dressing hair. And I thought this through today because I'm only allowed about 10-15 minutes. So I thought, okay, what 10 to 15 minutes that will be useful for you. So one of the things I feel that a lot of people just get too caught up in the complication of dressing hair. And it was so simple that I would think that anyone would be able to pick up this idea and run with it without having to really overthink it at all. So let me point out what I've done. I've done some prep before I got here today. I did it last night, of course. And I pre-prepared this doll by putting first off a braid in the very center back of the hair. So from the lower crown area to the, I've done a tight scalp braid. And that braid the hairstyle. So you'll find if you have been in my class, constantly doing little braids internally. So that gives bobby pins in and hold things together. But today, instead of putting bobby pins, you run a thread or a piece of elastic through. So I lifted away elastic that's come through the bottom of the braid and upwards the face. So I've got it completely out of the way. So it's just pinned. And I've also two sections at the front. So a very, very small panel, small diagonal line through here. I make sure that the hair is actually quite light and not, because I think hair hanging down over the face is, but sometimes when it looks like a great big, I don't think that's quite so pretty. The setting was I've got a veil in here and be a little finer on the crown through and done a little tiny bit of texturizing. So crimping through the crown, not a lot, this top section through here. So it just gives that little bit of volume without, to me, it's really important to try to eliminate as much teasing in your work as possible. The reason being is I feel it becomes a little old. So I much prefer to be able to do a look that is without teasing and then put the set in properly, and that will sort of overcome the need for having to tease. So all I'm doing now is just brushing this hair nice and tight back into the nape. You notice my palm is up, and I usually push my hand flat onto the nape and direct the hair down to it. So if obviously I'm going to hold my palm up, but if I want to keep it flat and tight, my palm being flat onto the neck and then the hair directed into my hand. And I'm just really opening and closing as I do that. Oops, I've just dragged a little bit of my front away. So just open, close, open, close. And if I just keep my hand and my knuckles around the neck, give me that nice hold with my pony. So let's just come through now. All I'm going to do is something really quite crazy. I combed it thoroughly through on the ends because you really need to make sure that there is no knots in this hair. And I would recommend at this stage probably using just a weightless shine spray just to detangle any knots now, because if you do have knots, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for you moving forward. So all I'm going to do now is just twist that hair. So I'm twisting it up and off to the left-hand side. And as I twist one full rotation, because I need to make sure that this twist is not free. So that's my third twist. And now I'm going to hold it down up to the hair. You can see virtually what I've done is done like nearly like a figure eight. I take it to the top. I'll use the clip along, and that clip will come through and hold that nice and firm. So, see what I've done there? Now it's time to drop out the piece of elastic. So I've now got the two tails of the elastic, and I'm going to take it up and tie a knot in that. So I make sure it's really nice and tight, because this, for me, the entire hairstyle. So elastic really works well. Now I know that looks all a little bit strange, but let me show you what's going to happen from there. The reason why this works so very well.
Hey Sharon, if you can you scoot a little bit closer to the camera so we can see a little bit more detail? I don't want to miss anything.
Let me just skip those.
Live TV, sorry. Just want to make sure everybody gets to see all that incredible work.
That for you now. Can we see that better?
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Okay. Let me just go back. I've taken it, twisted it to the make sure it's clean as I twist. I've got 3 twists in there. And then all I've done is and clipped and hold. Now I'm going to come through with another clip. So this is my chance now to hide off that piece of elastic. Come through in deep underneath and just clip. So I'm hoping this tip will hold. It's a little thin. I practiced it last night, and I think it should be fine. Yes. All right. Now I'm going to
Nick,
remove
isn't it amazing how
my
easy
twist.
Sharon makes it look?
Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here looking at her, and it's effortlessly
Like
done.
it
I
just
swear.
like it's
All right. So
it's
now
not that
I've got
easy.
that done, to now begin to pull. Now that is allowing me to get this manipulation larger and pulled out. Notice there's no bobby pins. There's nothing restricting. It's just allowing me the effortless out and really expand this right out. At the same time, I'm just soft lifting around the crown here, just to sort of bubble it up so it doesn't look quite perfect. I like it when beveled. So just very gently lifting that up and then pulling down. So that piece of elastic allows me the opportunity to expand my shape. I could
Oh,
not
that's
have
cool.
got this if I hadn't have tied that knot in it. So see how it allows me to just pull this right, bring it as wide as I want it to, planning on trying to get a really nice shape all around. Notice what's happened to the tail. It's pretty much pulled out down the bottom. Be very mindful as you pull that you don't get too carried away, but you do it in such a like little bites. I think it's important not to try to pull the whole lot at once, but just very gently just manipulate it out so you can just fill it all up and give that really soft
Sharon, you know
chignon
what I love
shape
about
to
that
it.
is as you're pulling it apart, I think the key, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is that when you secure it to the base, you can't make it too tight so that you could plume the top and the bottom of the hair.
Exactly right. So you've got to tie it to hold it. But if I was to be pinning it or even put it in an elastic band base, it's too difficult to pin out with ease, to pull out with ease. But just that tie with the elastic, secure it in place, but also give you that opportunity to reshape out. And it's a matter of just using little pieces of hair and just using your fingers just very soft and just gentle in there. Now that little bit of oil will help me not sort of make it look too messy. Fine line between organized mess and a
I
really
agree.
hot mess.
Yeah.
And sometimes you use an oil, it helps you control in a
I was just gonna ask, Sharon. So, number one, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Our fingers are like our best tools when it comes to upstyling, right? But
absolutely.
also, what type I like, we often talk about using like having the hair, thinking of the hair of a fabric, right? And so in terms of
Absolutely.
prep, and what kind of grip do you prefer for a style like this? Like, to does it need to be clean? Should it be prepped with a certain type of grip? What do you recommend so that they get the best
Okay, I like the
pluming
hair.
effect? Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hair to have the feel of cotton.
Ah,
Because I feel that rawness gives you that ability to sort of pull the hair out and move it around. If I was to be using hair that's too soft, the hair would slip well, but it also would be very, very difficult to keep in its shape. And of ever preparing with a straightening eye. I would ideally prefer to use a product that's going to sort of rough it up a little bit, and a shine spray just to give it that sort of flexibility and shift and movement, like this is starting to take its shape now.
Look how quickly that looks so beautiful.
Amazing.
Now,
I love
there
it.
is times when you may want to sort of quickly reach for a can of hairspray. Talk about hairspray as being finishing. The minute you hit some hairspray on this, you're there. It's done. Because once you try to raise hair that's got hairspray on it, that's when it all goes quite nasty. Okay.
Yeah, I
So I
agree.
much prefer to use the oil and work the oil until I'm totally satisfied with the shape that I've created. And only then do I start thinking, okay, what do I need to do next? Now, I like to always use these long pins. So this long pin helps me manipulate the hair where it needs to go. And only once I'm totally satisfied with the shape and the balance and the form, only then do I take a bobby pin. Because putting a bobby pin in hair like this and not being satisfied with it and try to pull it out is really one of your worst nightmares. So I say don't even go there doing that. It's not worth it. It's much better to use your pin to manipulate and place. And then once you're satisfied, come back and replace all those long pins with bobby pins to hold it. So I think that's, what do you think, guys? Is that looking okay?
Excellent.
It's just, I
Excellent.
thought we should just do something very soft and simple. But you can see I have no bobby pins at all in this. Nothing's been
That's
pinned. It's just being held with that piece of elastic and that braid. So that braid is key to make this all hold together beautifully.
yeah.
So I just want to
Anchors
sort of add a little
beautifully.
bit of softness through here. So very gently, I'm able to pull that up and expand that in ever so gently. Because I think
And
it
that
always
took
looks
you.
nice when the crown's that little bit softer. And the
Agreed.
reason why
Agreed.
that works so nicely is because I had that little bit of crimping just at the base. So I've got crimping at the base but curl on the end. So the hair will manipulate a lot nicer with that very light crimp.
I love the way that you do that, and because I think a lot of our consumers, right? So they can really. This is so elegant and so wearable, and sometimes I think that stylists out there get nervous about using a crimping iron for consumers. But when you use it in the right place, like just at the root for a bit of grip, like you're talking about, then you can get the control that you need without it looking like a fully crimped style, right?
Absolutely. If anyone's ever been in my class, they will understand the importance of the crimping. I really do push that quite a lot because I feel crimping is absolutely essential, particularly if you've got that finer hair as well. Now, you notice here this looks a little bit ordinary. So what I'm going to do is just take a little pin and weave it and just change how that's sitting on the head. So all I've done is over directed that little panel up and over. So I changed the shape of this ever so slightly and give it a different angle. And that way I can get that softer, more editorial feel to that hair as well. So now I could take a little bit of spray. I'm always only going to ever use a regular hold spray. I'll never use anything too hard hold because I feel a hard hold spray is it's not necessary. I think you're really overcommitting and it really takes on a plastic look to the hair. So I'm not a fan of anything to do with anything too hard hold. Unless we
Yeah.
are here in Australia and it's blowing a cyclone, then maybe I might sort of rethink that. But generally, it's not a necessary thing to do.
So we're looking
So I
for
like to
cotton,
get
not
this
cotton, not plastic.
cotton, not plastic. Yeah, I'm looking for something really beautiful and elegant, and I don't want it to look like it's been stuck down, you know. And what's really remarkable about this look is that I really don't need a pile of bobby pins as well. Because when you do something like this, the problem that you have to keep in mind is if you're going to put too many bobby pins in, you're not going to get that aerated, softer feel to the hair. It's always going to look a bit flat. So the more bobby pins you put in, the flatter they will appear. I'm just going to just shift up these sides so they just see how it's just taken it into a little bit more of a movement, so it doesn't look quite so saggy on the sides. I always think this gives an old look to the hairstyle when the hair is, when it's drooped down too low like this.
Yeah.
See, just changing the angle and the direction gives a completely different feel to the hair.
You're getting lots of comments, as expected, Sharon, about people thinking this is so beautiful. It looks to me like you're going to work through the front there still? That's like as you're kind
I'm
of
just
pluming and
working on the
building?
sides. Really, I'm just focusing on that panel at the moment because
Yeah.
I just feel it just needs a little bit of love. This part here for sure needs to come back and up. So you can see, let me show you closely. I've got a bobby pin in the middle of that loop and I weave it through like I'm doing a little stitch. Then see the tip of that bobby pin, I take it up and then I push it down into the base. And that just changes the direction straight away. Notice I never open the bobby pin. The minute you open the bobby pin, you have to start thinking about how am I going to hide the top of that bobby pin now. So it's very important if you open a bobby pin, you're going to have to think a little bit smarter about your placement with the bobby pin because you're going to have to, you'll see that bobby pin for sure. Now, a lot of this I don't think really needs a lot of bobby pinning around the bottom, but I'll just pop a couple in for good measure. So they're actually going towards the actual braid that I've got in there now. So it's helping, the braid is helping me lock the bobby pins in at the same time. Now notice my spraying. Wrong spray. Notice my spraying. I'm just using my fingers and just moving it very, very carefully. That I'm not spraying completely. I'm spraying little small pieces and making sure as I place them, I just put that little touch of spray on them. But you know what? I think that's probably about all I need to do.
It looks gorgeous
at
already.
Back, I think that's done quite well. All I have to do now is my fronts. So I do have a friend who does wedding photography, and his greatest gripe will be these two pieces of hair that everybody wants down the front. Their biggest problem, he says, is when they take photographs, usually the best photo has got this hair sitting really badly on the face. So I think you have to be very mindful if you are going to leave pieces down the front, that when you leave them, they're done beautiful. They're not sort of going to sort of conflict with the rest of the, with the photos, for example. So I'll just gently pull that out, but it's a little long. So I'll just pull out the edge here and tuck those tails down in there just to hold it back off her face ever so slightly. And now I can expand it and just turn it into just a really soft shape and connect it with the front as well. So we don't have to be too precious about it. I don't know if you realize I've used a tong, just a regular tong to do all my setting with. And when I set these fronts, I just want to, I'll bring you up to speed with how I've set the fronts, because I like to make sure when my fronts are done that they do exactly what they're supposed to do straight away. A lot of times that always can be a problem, as we know. One side looks great and the other's not so fabulous. And my trick to setting my tong is to make sure that I place so angle was in line with the jaw like that. I pulled the head down and I wrapped low and in a dive sits just here on the jaw line. When I curled the hole, I wrapped it around and that's helped me create just a small bend through there. So as I take it down, see how it just comes back nicely around her face. So I'm shift when I tong. I don't just tong for, you know, just because I'm tonging. I make sure that I'm very mindful of the placement of each tong placement as well. So let's look at her. I'll just do something really soft, take a couple of bends and loop them back. So just take the bulk of that, a little bit more softness around the face. So how are we going with time, guys?
We were actually just going to say, like, you're doing good. Finishes it. We do have a cool little commercial, little how-to video that we can roll right now if you want to put some finishing touches, and you can come back and show us
Okay,
what
let's
you've
do
done. Yeah.
that.
Okay. So Nick, what do you say we just roll it to one of the many examples of some of the how-to videos that you can find on Sharon Blaine Education, and then we'll take a little break and come back and see how she's wrapped this up.
I love it.
Finish it off.
All right, everyone.
Great
Enjoy
idea.
this video.
We'll be right back, Sharon.
Hi, I'm Sharon Blaine. Today I'm going to show you how to use one of my hairdressing accessories, and it's padding. I'm going to put it into my model's head and show you how to create a beautiful Audrey Hepburn hairstyle. By placing the padding over the top of the ponytail, I'm taking a bobby pin and making sure that the bobby pin crisscrosses the hair. This is a very important thing when it comes to pinning the padding in firm. It's very important also not to open the bobby pins, because the bobby pins will help latch the hair and the padding together a lot faster and a little bit firmer, or much firmer I should say. So I'm going to work around the head. I'm going to create this beautiful shape with the padding and bobby pins, and I'm now going to take my hair back over the top of the padding, very quickly combing it into place, showing you how to create the perfect Audrey Hepburn hairstyle. I'm going to place an elastic band just on the very end of this hairstyle, very, very quickly. I'm going to now just push the remaining ponytail up inside the padding, and by pinning into the elastic band that I've put into the ponytail, that will help to secure the ponytail in place. And there we have a beautiful Audrey Hepburn chignon.
Another beautiful style by Miss Sharon Blaine. I'll tell you, I never get sick of seeing you work. I could literally sit there with like popcorn and watch you all day long, because I learn something every single time you touch the hair. It's just amazing and so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Classic,
so
beautiful, elegant.
It's very, very simple. It's not a hard to do. So hopefully all these people watching will at it, and it'd be great to see what they're with regard to what I just showed.
I agree. I definitely agree. Now, I know you have some finishing touches to the style you've been working on, so let's take a look at that.
I've just sort of left it quite soft, nothing too structured, just a very, very simple style. And I think it looks a lot more complicated than what...
Isn't that
It
the
does.
goal, though? I always love when I see people on the red carpet and you kind of try to figure out how their hair was done, and you know they spent tons of time actually getting it perfect, but it looks effortlessly. And I think that's the looks right now with dress work. It's all about that perfectly undone style.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
casual elegance, right? Gorgeous.
Thank you, guys.
Sharon, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. My heart goes out to all you guys over there. Please stay safe, stay well, do what you can, and let's hope that we can meet together over a glass of wine next time I'm in New York.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would be amazing. I hope we're all sipping wine really soon together. But for now, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being a part.
Thank you for having me. And
pardon me?
goodbye, Sonia, as well.
For sure. We'll speak soon. Thank you so much. Big hug and kiss. All right, Amen. So, Miss
All right.
Sonia.
So yeah. Wow, my gosh. So excited to have one of our dearest friends, Miss Sonia Dove, who's going to walk us through upstyling from a color aspect, which is kind of a different angle, which I really love that she was excited to jump on this. And we'll bring her on now and let her talk to us about her friendship with Sharon and how she was inspired to give you something with regards to upping your upstyle game, but from a color perspective. So, Sonia?
Hi everyone, thank you for having me, both of you. And wow, I just learned such a lot watching Sharon, and I have taken one of her boot camp classes, and it was the best thing I ever did. It was incredible, it really was. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing your knowledge. So, talking about color with upstyles, and I'm going to be sharing with you a technique, and it's all about minimum placement but maximum effect. And the reason I came up with this technique is when I work, many people don't realize I do work in Ulta in Santa Monica. I work there all the time, and a lot of my clients have got very long hair, California. And I started to ask a question: how much time do you wear your hair up compared to being down? And I was astonished at the amount of time they wear it more up than they would down. So it got me thinking, well, I better get my game on with placement. So this technique is about for that client that's very busy. So ask your guests in the salon how often they wear their hair up. They might say 50%, 60, 70. If it comes to be 50% or more, this is an ideal technique for you to share with your clients. If they wear it more down, then there's other opportunities. So I wanted to show you the sectioning. This is a mannequin that I have, and what I'd like to do, we start very, very thin on the front. So the front section is about 1/4 inch thick, and then as we get further round, it gets bigger, 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 and then finally going to the back, my guideline is the occipital bone. So anything from the occipital bone down is where I leave out, because this is the hair that I'm going to color. So skinny at the front, getting more, maximum in the back area, and then back around to the other side. Now, that looks easy, doesn't it? But guess what? It's really easy on a mannequin, because the mannequin hairline is wefted very, very strong. But we know on our guests and our clients with longer hair, like my hair, for instance, I have areas that recede back, and then I have areas that are thinner, more dense. So what you have to do, and this is the big, big aha moment, don't look at the sectioning here, look at the perimeter haircut. So what you might get if you section it evenly all the way around like that, you might look at the perimeter haircut and see short, long, short, long, and it really does not work well with this technique. What you have to look is you have to pull enough hair out that you can see the haircut edge all the way round, if that makes sense. So don't look here, look how it lays here. As an example, yes.
Can I ask you a question? As I didn't mean to interrupt,
Yes.
but I'm thinking about
No, of course.
So I get that you want to be able to see the perimeter line, right? That's the idea all the way around.
Yes.
But does it work
Yes.
on all textures, or is it only intended for thicker textures, or could it be worked on more skinny hair? What is your recommendation there?
It works on different textures. You will actually find the thicker the hair, the less you're going to have out. The thinner the hair, the more you have out. Like an example, let's take someone with the receding hairline, like mine here. What it will actually be to fill in that area that is thinner, which is usually on the temple area here, you will have to go up, in, and pull hair out into that section. Now, thank goodness this model has 3 legs and no heartbeat, but I am pulling out my section out because I did a lovely I did a lovely tight top knot, but I do want to share with you what it possibly, it's okay. She's going to still pay me $1,000 for my service, but she super loves me. So the
Sonia, while you're
sectioning
pulling that
might
section
be,
out, let me just ask, I would imagine that with the finer to medium textured hair, that this would actually give the illusion with this placement that the hair is actually thicker when it's done than it actually is. Am I right?
100%, Nick, 100%. But that might be your sectioning. It might go across, up, go here. Where the ear is, you might want more, so you have to scoop more out. So what you're looking at all the time, you're trying to fill in a nice strong line on the perimeter. So that's the sectioning. So always look at the perimeter, maximum here. And you know why the maximum amount of hair is at the back here? I'm sure many of you know that when you have a client with long hair, sometimes in the nape, there's breakage there, there's shorter hair. Sometimes the hair here doesn't reach all the way down to their back. Maybe it just reaches to here. So you have to have a lot out of the back. So that's the sectioning. Now I have another mannequin ready. And this is
like a cooking
mannequin.
show.
This is the cooking show. So this is my mannequin with my foils in. And what I've done is the hair that's left out, it is just foiled, and it is a heavy weave with hair left out in between, all the way through, all the way round. I've used my lovely foils. I love my foils, female foils, all the way around there. So you can do a slice or a weave, but do not do the whole section. You do need to leave hair out in between, because the whole idea, when that client pulls her hair up into a ponytail, she needs to have the highlights running all the way through her to the end of her ponytail. That's why we do a lot of highlights around the perimeter hair. So I've left myself a section here to colour, because this is the hardest part, where you've got the sort of sideburn area. And I am using Blondor powder lightener here. I'm a Wella addict. This is Wella Blondor powder. And I'm mixing it with 20 volume developer. It's my go-to lightener. It's the best lightener in the world. Sorry for that plug, shamelessly. But there we are. We have it in Ulta, so I feel good.
You have it, but we'll argue.
So in the areas that you've got more density, like here on the sides, this area is going to take at least 3 or 4 rows. But on the front here, you only need one section, hence the section at the front. So on the side, if I move that out the way, let me move my lovely mannequin so you can see. I start on the underneath first, and I pin my hair up with my clips. These are the only clips I have at home, but it feels good because they're my defense Candy Shore. And here, I just do a heavy weave. So if you're a slicer, you can still slice. Then putting in my foil, I'm at a diagonal, placing my foil in, and going in with my lightener all the way through. Now, saturation is key. We all know that. Really applying that lightener through, all the way through the hair. And this is a very simple technique, but guess what? I use it so much in the salon, because reality is, in California, I have a lot of long hair clients. The other opportunity for doing this technique is kids when they're off from school for summer break, which is not what's happening at the moment, but when some of my young clients, 10, 11 and 12, they want to experience color, and their parents don't want them to get too addicted to color, but they do know that if they don't allow them the opportunity to try color, they're just going to go and try it themselves. I do this on my very young clients. They wear it all summer. What's lovely about this technique, it looks amazing when the hair's all pulled back, like how Sharon did her beautiful upstyling. Also, it looks fabulous in a top knot, but it also looks amazing down because it looks like a peekaboo. And I'm not sure if we had any imagery show up,
Yeah.
but
We'll
yes,
roll
we
them
did.
again.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
We roll them again. But this is a technique not only for up styling, but for down. And remember, when your guest is in your chair next, when we're back in full steam in the salon, hopefully soon, ask them when they've got long hair, ask them how often they wear their hair up. Because you know what? Some of the clients are a little bit afraid to tell you, because I found that with my own guests, that they wanted to tell me they wear it down most of the time, but actually reality with busy lifestyles and things to do and work and kids and their whatever they're doing, most women throw their hair up in a ponytail more often than us hairdressers like to think. And that's what made me get into coming up with this technique. So just
in the head, you know, a lot of people are wearing their hair up and they need color that's going to really unfold as you do the dress work. But tell me how this will look for someone who wants to wear maybe their hair down during the day and up at night. We know how beautiful it's going to look pulled back away from the face, but what will this do for the face frame with the hair down?
Well, face framing with the hair down, it's going to look like an internal peekaboo. So the color's going to lie underneath all the way around the sides. So when they blow dry their hair back, or if they style their hair with a curling iron, you'll see that beautiful color peek through. The key is, though, Nick, if I may say, is the very, very front section is extremely skinny and very, very thin. If it's not thin, it tends to look a little bit 80s, like the old Debbie Harry, like used to be. So start off seamlessly thin and then get thicker and thicker as your sections go all the way round. The other thing is I'm using lightener here. And once the pictures that you've been showing, once I took off my lightener, I then colored the hair with orange and red. So it can have some fun colors as well. You can do it in pastels, or you can just do it with straight color. But it's a fun technique, and you're looking at about 15 foils maximum.
Yeah.
Minimal effort, maximum result. And here, Nick, you can just see on the very front section, it's my last section here. It's just one section for one foil. So it's about 1/4 inch thick. I'm a lover of weaving. But if anyone slices, you could do that. But the whole idea of leaving some natural out is so it has a seamless blend into the person's natural hair going back. So just put that in. There. Lovely.
Sonia,
And,
that looks so easy, so good. And actually, I'm liking the front foil because it's making me feel like even though the face framing will be internal, that one almost will be on trend, almost like a money piece, right? So if they push their hair back and put their hair still down, those front highlights will accent like kind of like that front piece that's very on trend right now.
That is correct. May I add another little point
Yeah.
that just popped into my head? What I always do, this is a technique, but the most important thing for me is the face shape. So let's take it that this lovely mannequin here had a round shaped face. So imagine she had a round shaped face. I would not be doing my color on the round shaped face like this. What I would do, I would only do the highlights to the temple area, because light gives lift, but I would not be doing the highlights down here, because we all know if we put highlights around the fuller part of the face, they're going to look a little bit like this. Like I do. Just saying. So face shape first, technique second. I'm always a big
and
believer in
lots of
that.
color variety. It really works for
Yes.
fun
You know what I
colors,
love?
Yes.
for subtle color. Yeah.
You know what I love too about this technique? If you think about it, if you're a full blonde or you're transitioning blonde with some lightness and darkness, I always say, as long as you keep that lightness around the hairline, a blonde
Yes.
will feel good,
So
right?
true.
Because
So
it
true.
really opens up the eyes and makes them feel brighter, no matter what's happening all the way around the rest of the color.
Well,
Yes, that
listen.
is completely correct.
Yeah. Sonia, so you have given us a really great tip. I mean, today's topic is upping your up style. This is a really great kind of spin on ways to think about upping your up style from a color perspective. We actually have a video queued up from a quick little up styling or just hairdressing technique that I'd like to throw to right now, just so that everybody gets a sense for not only you as a colorist, but you as a finisher. So let's throw that now.
Thank you.
Only a legend in the industry for her color work, but also you just saw a quick little video of her showing some cool little styling tips. Sonia, always a pleasure. You're a family member. You're like world-renowned artist. It is our pleasure to have you for the first time on Unveiled Beauty, but it won't be the last, I'm certain. So thank you so much for your tips today, and we will see you soon. Take care of yourself, okay?
Love you, my friend.
Thank you.
Say hello to
Love
Nicholas.
you. And oh, I will. And be safe, everybody. I'm sending you love, strength, and compassion. We'll get through it, and we'll be back on track soon. We can all do it together. I love you so much. Thank you, Alta.
Sure. Love you back. All right, so Nick, I would like to transition it to like one of my favorite parts about what we do, and we'll mix it up in the future, but we've been bookending it on this show with highlighting one of my favorite parts is the career opportunities and the growth with this little this team that we call the Heart Soldiers of Ulta Beauty, our design team members. And today we decided to invite somebody on the team, on this design team, who happens to be really passionate about upstyling, so it was an appropriate fit. He's well-rounded in all kinds of skills, but let's bring Mr. Anthony Negron on right now, and we can talk to him about being the design team member and being the amazing stylist that he is at Ulta Beauty for us. So Anthony, are you there? Nick, can you hear Anthony? I can't.
I can't. That's what I love about live TV.
Live TV, I know, right?
Well, Anthony,
So
you know what? Am and I are going to chat a little bit, but when you get on, just say hello to us so we know that you're there.
I can
But
see
Ammon,
that
I got to tell you,
like Anthony, log off and back on, and Mick and I will do a dance, and we'll be back. Yeah.
yeah, Ammon, I'm just sitting here and I'm watching Sharon and I'm watching Sonia, and I have to honestly say, two of the industry's leading ladies, most powerful women in the business, and it's just humbling to watch and learn. And you know
Yeah.
what? I was thinking about it. This is my 21st year doing hair, and here I am watching some of my friends on this amazing computer, and I'm learning different tips and tricks from them. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in this industry. It's about what you can learn from each other, and that's been the most fun about our team, is how much we can learn from each other and how vulnerable we could be, to be honest, to say, you know what, Sonia, you're better at this than me. Show me how to do it, or you're better at it than me, so on and so forth. And I think that's what's been the strength of this team, is just the ability to be vulnerable and have fun with each other, and just be okay saying, you know what, I'm just not that great at this, but I bet you if you teach me a thing or two, I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
So I think he's logging on in just a moment. In the meantime, Emma, why don't we talk about some of the other guests we have coming up this week?
Well, I'm logging in and out. Nick, can you hear me?
I can hear you
Oh,
fine.
good. That was good. I logged in and out twice while you were talking. You're an expert at live TV. I love
Oh,
you.
I thought it
Carry
was
it
so
through.
weird that you
You,
were not talking
you,
back to me. I'm like, okay,
you know I
I
always have
guess you don't
something to
agree.
say. No, I was like logging in and off, so our connection is good. I
I
couldn't
love
agree with you
Mondays.
more. I mean, I just I'm so proud of the next generation. I think that you and I, especially as we're kind of building up to Anthony and all the other design team members come on board. We of course, you and I feel particularly bonded to that crew because you and I met as design team members, right? And
That's
so
true.
it's almost as though we see a bit of ourselves, not a bit, but like it's almost like
A lot
a
of
reflection, like you look back and you go, wow, that's me, that was me. And so the opportunities we try to provide, the training that we try to provide are all the things that we wish that we had. And I know that I'm very, very strict with this little team about making sure that they treat each other with respect and that they have each other's back and that they understand that the relationships that they are building on this team are ones that will last for a lifetime. And I know you'll agree with me that we have such a special team with a wide range of talent, like showing up and winning awards and doing all this amazing stuff. And Anthony is definitely a huge asset to that team. I'm grateful that he's joining us today. If he indeed is able to connect, hopefully he can hear us.
Hello?
Anthony, are you there, buddy? Yeah, I
Hi,
hear you.
yes, finally. Hi, how's everybody doing today? Finally logged in.
just so
Like
you
I
know.
said
Nice.
before, I'm so excited to be sharing this episode with Sonia and Sharon Blaine, legends in this industry. So I'm so excited to be here.
What about Nick and I? Well, that's
Of
rude.
course, that's a
He's
given
gonna
now.
care less about you and I. He's like, oh, those two, I get
You
to see
want to
them a
stay on this
lot.
design team or what, huh? No, Anthony, so I'm just going to go right into it and talk to you a little about, like, I think what we've been able to call out a lot is that you guys as young design team members get thrown into a lot of things, and I love it. Me and Nick like to push you guys into uncomfortable situations, get you training for social media, be our brand ambassadors, and just really embody what it means to be, the representatives of culture, because you are the most visible stylists that work behind the chair. And that's the key thing that I want to talk about, is that a lot of people don't realize, because they see you in magazines and they see you on social media and they see you on these photo shoots, but you guys are working behind the chair, taking care of your guests and doing your roles as a design team member. So talk to us about that balance and how you feel about being a stylist that works behind the chair, just like Sonia, and making sure your guests are the first thing that you think of.
So yeah, definitely. Honestly, it's like the best of both worlds. We get to do the biggest hair shows in the nation. We do all the photo shoots. We do marketing for Ulta Beauty, all the special events. But we get to come back to the salon as a full-time stylist behind the chair and show our fellow stylists, like share with them all the educations we gotten from all the pro team members, And like we just went to Nicholas French, share that with all our stylists. And even with my customers love like hearing about all the things that we've been up to, all the latest trends. So it's so great to be on both sides of this industry. So we're really, really, really lucky for that.
Okay, so one of your favorite highlights, because all right, so I know we've put you through it. You've been with us for it's like this is your second year, right? And you've had a lot of cool experiences along the way. If you had to pick one like experience that stood out as like, yeah, that was just like amazing. Like, which one would it be? Do you think?
I think, oh my God, there's so many. That's a tough question. But I would say when we did the Naha shoot as a design team member, as a design team group, and being nominated for that, we all worked so hard together. We're like a family. So being able for all of us to come in together and being nominated for Team of the Year next to you guys was like amazing. And it was published in
Are
a
you talking
magazine.
about the
So
team? Are you talking about the year that you're not with us, or the year that you beat us? Because I feel like there was
both years.
I'm particularly proud that they beat us. I gotta say, I really am.
No, it's so funny, right, Nick? Because we got so many questions about how we felt about like our mentees beating us, and we were like, that's like the name of the game, right? That's
That's
like
the best.
that's what makes us,
That's the
yeah.
best
It was
honor.
like the best compliment is that obviously we're doing something right. And Anthony, you guys, I would love to take the credit for like such amazing mentorship, and I hope we do. Half as good of a job as the mentors that Nick and I have had in our past, but like you guys are really great. You're really self-starters. You're really driven. You really back each other up, and you guys deserve a lot of that credit. I know, especially on a lot of those shoots. People don't believe it, but there were no pro team members present. You guys created those shoots on your own with your hands, with your skills that you'd learned, and I think that deserves a strong call out because people sometimes believe that it's the design team, but that we're there making sure that it's up to par, and really it's your work.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of work that we put into that, a lot of thought.
All right. Well, you're a man of many words, obviously. So let's. What else do you want to talk about today? So today is specifically about like kind of upping your upstyling game. So anything specifically that you'd like to share? I know that right now you can't see, but on the screen we're flashing some of your epic work. So talk to us about your particular passion with upstyling and how has it changed and grown since you've been on the design team?
So my technical skills with upselling has grown so much. Even seeing in the shoots that we do and everything, just seeing everybody take a different way to getting to a different style. My thing when I create a style is that I like it to be really versatile. So like I remember when I did a shoot, I think I was on stage with Sonia. She inspired me on doing putting the bobby pins on the buns just to create it, just like little things as the bobby pins created like made that look happen for me. So, and then I made that into a ponytail too. So like working with one style, making it differently, it's like my thing.
Yeah. You're hitting it hard, and I recently heard from you that you've decided, just like me, to make texture your new conquering frontier. Talk to me about that. I'm right with you there, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah, so ever since Tequila has been on the pro team, I've been so inspired by her. I stalk her social media all the time, and I always loved curly hair, but I just wanna like learn all about it. And like I've been experimenting. I've been getting a lot of models, curly models, doing some photo shoots with them, and just bringing it out there, learning everything I could do to service everybody, become a tech expert, like we say here at Ulta Beauty.
Right on, right on.
Was, with Anthony, I noticed that he was one of our first design team members to get recognized by an industry publication. I remember Modern Salon really spotlighted you as, one of the future up and comers. And, for people out there who are just dabbling into social media or looking to get recognized by their work in the industry, like what is some advice you would give?
So I would definitely say now is the time, especially since we have so much time for ourselves, is to keep creating at home. Grab the mannequin that you have, um, look at online education, and just keep posting, keep trying new things out. Even with the image, take lots of pictures, lighting, trying new things, and like expanding yourself. Get out of the box, I would say, and
Yeah,
then just like keep inspiring and be inspired by others.
keep it creative, right, buddy?
Yes.
I think you just said it right there, Mister. Listen, we are so grateful that you're on this team. You're a huge asset. You've got the right spirit, and we thank you so much for joining on board today and like sharing us some of your work and some of your tips. Um, I hope that when people see you, especially as a young up and coming generation, that they get inspired and see that in the world that we're in right now, whether you're working in other salons or booth renting or whatever, that they can see successful career opportunities in the reflection of the eyes of a young talent like you, and be inspired to look at Ulta Beauty as a possible place to make it their home, because you certainly are a testament to a success story, and we're very, very proud of you and happy to have you on the design team, Mister. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
I
Thank you so
agree.
much.
I agree. Great
All
to
right.
see you, my friend. Stay well. So proud of you.
All right.
Over and
Thank you.
out, big guy. Thank you, buddy.
All right. So let's take a look at one of the cool videos that Anthony created.
Nick, I don't know if we have a video for Anthony.
Oh, I thought we had a loaded video. All right. Well, we're going to put it up there another day then.
We are live TV.
You know
we
what I
ran
love,
his
Evan?
video.
You know what I love? This is a true typical Monday. I swear to God. I always say Monday is like the craziest day of the week, and it totally is. And this show today just like sums it up. Totally sums it up.
Listen, I'll do this for you just to kind of like save you. I will make sure that Anthony, since I know he's still listening, posts one of his good videos, and you guys got to see King Anthony. I mean, like, with a name like King Anthony, everybody's gonna follow him on social media, right?
I
So
agree.
go to King Anthony's social media. He's really great. He's like one of those youngsters who's mastered the whole TikTok thing, which I can't even wrap my brain around yet. But follow his work. He's really amazing. And then we don't have to actually throw the video now. They can go see him later.
There you go. But you know what?
So
For
I'm
now,
yeah.
this was an action-packed show, to say the least. Lots of fun, lots of fun. You know what? Please, in the comments on both Ammon and I's pages, tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to see. This is time for us to come together as a community, as a team in the industry, to really fill our cups back up. And you know what? At the end of the day, there's no script, there's no topic. It's just something that we're putting together so that we can stay connected to you. We can see your face, you can see ours. And it's really about keeping the industry connected as one, because we know that when this is over, we're going to hit the ground running fast and furious. And we want to make sure that our cups are filled back up so that we could then pour it into all our guests that are sitting in the chair each and every single day. So I really personally appreciate you joining in with us. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear all the things that's happening in your world. Most importantly, I want to know that you're safe and sound. I want to know that you're healthy. Ammon and I really have spent a lot of time really thinking about different creative ways that we can engage with you. So, Ammon, why don't we talk about some of the things that are coming next week?
I was just going to say, please don't close this out before I get to tease about the next one coming up, because I'm really excited. I think this is one is going to be very relevant. We're trying to make sure that this Unveiled Beauty is, like I said, relevant to guests and to consumers alike. And the next one is spot on with what we're looking for. So we're talking, the title of it is going to be one shampoo or one wash and 5 days of different creative hairstyling. But what we've done to make it a layer even cooler is we've asked 5 different design team members to start 5 days ago, wash their hair, and document the different styles that they create for 5 different days. So regardless of your hair type, hair length, as you watch the next episode on Wednesday featuring our design team members, you'll be able to get ideas regardless of how long or thick your hair is, with the right products and the different styles that you can do to make sure that you're taking care of your hair and not washing it too often. So that's coming up next. It's going to be awesome. Tune in on Wednesday.
I can't wait. Well, for now, that does it for us for today. Thank you so much for spending your Monday evening with to in a minute, make sure they're doing okay, and most of all, do something to fill your own cup back up, because it's most important right now. Take care of each other, and we'll see you Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, guys.